Chapter 8. When the fog laughs. If the fog laughs, don't answer. If you answer, don't stop walking. From an old warning etched into the underside of a rotted ore. I left the ridge before the sun had fully broken the clouds. The moss underfoot was wet, even where no dew should gather, and the wind, if it could be called that, moved like a whisper without breath. Not forward, not around. It pressed, like something peering close but refusing to speak. I had taken the stone. I always did. But that morning it felt heavier, as if it carried something I hadn't earned yet. Its warmth wasn't comfort. It was weight. The trees thinned the farther I walked, and the mist thickened. But it wasn't normal fog. It didn't drift. It clung. Each branch I passed, each root I stepped over, seemed to hum faintly in my wake. Then I heard it. Not a laugh. Not yet. A breath that caught just a moment too long. Then again. A murmur wrapped in silence. No direction. No shape. But not mine. I turned and found nothing. I turned again, and something was closer. The fog shifted. Stop. I didn't know if I said it, or if something said it to me, but my feet froze. The laughter came then. Small, playful, like a child hiding behind trees, amused at being seen. I didn't speak. The fog moved closer. You left the ridge, it whispered, but you didn't leave alone. The sound was everywhere and nowhere, the kind that wraps behind your ears, then inside them. I tightened my grip on the stone. It pulsed, not in fear, in readiness. Then came another voice, not from the fog. Lower, rooted. Don't chase it. The mast, the voice in memory, not new, but remembered, carried on the back of the stone's heat. I stepped sideways, not forward. The laughter faded. The fog stayed. I moved again. This time toward the sound of moving water shallow, quick, distant. It grounded me. The laughter did not follow. But something else did. The trees here were different. Taller, but bent, as though the fog had worn them over time. At their bases, new growths pushed upward vines with petals like teeth. They opened when I neared, closed when I stepped away. I circled wide. Once, something grabbed my ankle. A root, maybe, or a coil of bark. I kicked. It let go. The stone was hot now. I placed it to the ground. It rolled ahead. Only once, but with purpose. I followed. We came to a clearing, smaller than the others. A circle of exposed earth where the fog didn't sit. In the center, a ring of stones. All smooth. All placed. The laughter echoed again, but it didn't enter. I crouched in the circle, waited. The fog surrounded us, thick and breathing, but didn't cross the edge. It laughed once more, sharper now, less amused. You found one of the old places. The voice faded. The stone at my side was still. Then a vine touched the circle, and it burned. Not fire, not smoke, just light, like memory rejecting intrusion. I didn't speak, but I whispered something in thought. Let me pass, not to own, but to witness. The fog did not laugh again. When I left the circle, the wind had returned. Not much, but enough to carry the mist away from the path. The stone still warm pulsed once in my hand. It was time to go deeper, toward the cave. But the fog wasn't finished. I hadn't gone 20 steps before a voice cried out behind me. Wait! It was her voice. My mother's. I turned. I shouldn't have. But I did. She stood there in the mist, hand outstretched, red string visible around her wrist. "You left without me," she said. "You can't go alone." Everything inside me wanted to run to her. But the stone vibrated in my hand. Once, twice, then a sharp pulse. I blinked. She was gone. The mist didn't laugh. It hissed. I dropped to my knees, pressed my palm to the earth. "No more games," I whispered. "If you want me, show yourself." Nothing answered. But the trees around me creaked. The fog thickened again. And in it, something tall stepped forward. No face, no limbs, just shape and weight and memory. It walked past me. It didn't look, but the ground beneath it bent. I stood and followed, not because I trusted it, but because it walked toward the cave. At the threshold, it turned into fog again and vanished. I stood alone. The stone pulsed once more. Then silence. I waited there, unmoving, until the fog broke again. It did not laugh now. It hovered like breath that had forgotten the lungs. Shapes flickered on the edges of sight, not people, not beasts, but almost both. One of them leaned forward, fog coiling from the sockets of its not eyes. It whispered, though no mouth moved. "You are not the first." I nodded. I didn't answer. The stone glowed faintly at my side. I reached out. My hand passed through the shape, cold, but not biting. Behind me, the mast hummed, not near, but distant, like an echo of a dream I had not dreamt. I walked into the cave, and the fog did not follow. The stone rolled forward as I stepped past the threshold. Its path was not direct. It shifted around pebbles, curved slightly, as if feeling for something. I followed it deeper, past the breath of outside air. The walls were not rough, but worn, like they had been breathed on for centuries. I ran my fingers along them. They were warm. Further in, the stone stopped. It rested beside a shape that shimmered faintly, not light, but memory. I crouched and touched it. The shimmer rose. A scene unfolded across the walls, my mother's hands shaping a knot, a tree's limb bending slightly to receive it, a child crying, my own voice, my own face. Then darkness again. The stone pulsed. "I remember," I said. I didn't know what I meant. And the walls did not respond, but the ground beneath me softened, and the cave breathed. I laid down the stone. I whispered into the hollow, "I will go deeper." The cave opened, and the path descended.